time for Two Guys and a Goalie with Dustin Nielson, Matt Kassian, and the goalie, Joaquin Gage.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Two Guys and a Goalie, presented by GS Construction. I'm watching Rugby Sevens right now on my phone. We're in the gold medal match against New Zealand, and Maddie, would you say it's not looking good right now? Sorry, Maddie's getting all rattled. It's not looking good right now. Have you guys ever watched this Rugby Sevens stuff? My goodness.
I haven't, but it's like I know it'd be fun. Like I watched that Netflix series that they had on the rugby, and it was pretty awesome.
I haven't seen that one. Yeah, what's that called?
Yeah, it was
Rugby?
Six Nations.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they called it Six Nations or something like that. But it was on like the Six Nations Cup for rugby, and it was pretty. It was fun. Like I really enjoyed it. It's Drive to Survive style, same thing like they're doing with all the sports these days. But well worth it. Well worth the watch. So I haven't watched the Sevens, but I feel like it would be a blast. So I probably should. I'll have to catch up when I watch my highlights today.
Gager, how are you consuming the Olympics, buddy?
Surfing. It's I was over at my
like you're watching surfing or you're channel surfing?
Yeah. Watching surfing.
Oh, okay.
Like it's unreal, the surfing. Like where they are, like they're like 2,000 miles or 6,000.
They're in Tahiti, right?
Away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they explain the area, the way that the water breaks. Like it's one of the most dangerous places on the planet to surf because it's the drop off. It's like 150 feet that goes to like 2 feet, and the jet skis got to get in there and save them, or else these guys will get crushed into the coral reef. Like they have to bail early, and it's the most perfect wave. So I'm learning about how it's judged and stuff. It's unreal. And one hint, I don't know if you guys know this. Again, my brother-in-law, he knows everything. The CBC Gem app, if you go into that, you can actually go to any sport and just like watch back.
I think my wife's using that CBC Gem app. Yeah.
It's unreal. Like it's basically Netflix's the Olympics. So you don't just watch what's on TV. You can go watch whatever you want.
That's convenient because there's too much to consume. Like there's too much stuff on the go all the time. Canada looks like they're taking a silver in Rugby 7, which is good because they pulled off a massive upset just to get to the gold medal match. So congratulations to Canada. Chalk up another one there for the good girls over at the Rugby Sevens. All right, we got a few things to discuss as we work our way through the show today. I know YouTube Trev's putting together a little hire it or fire it for GS Construction. Two Guys and a Goalie is presented by GS Construction. They've been setting the industry standard for 50 years with quality, efficiency, and safety driving their success. GS Construction has a foundation built on teamwork, and now they want you to become a part of the team. Visit www.gsconstruction.ca and click Ready to Work, or visit their page at Indeed.ca. And with that Next Up Person program at GS Construction, it's not just a job, it is a career. I came by, remember, I think I told you guys a couple weeks ago, I'm driving into work in the morning. I was with that GS Construction dump truck. Popped up again today. I was coming around the corner to head to where it just past Mayfield Common, and there he was. I was just like, it's on again. And I smoked him today. There's no messing around on that one today. So that was nice to see. Look, this is a hockey show. We talk a lot about our lives. But we have to start by, now, I haven't seen Deadpool and Wolverine yet. But at Comic-Con over the weekend, they roll out Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom moving forward in Avengers Doomsday. Cass, you're shaking your head. I mean, I was stunned that they copied our Reed Wilkins reveal by taking the head off of him. I was like, we just did that last night. Yeah. But I'm very stunned by like what. Like, couldn't find anybody else, or is there like a plot twist here? Because I know I've dove into it a bit, boys. And at some point, Gage, you might know this too. Like Dr. Doom is like the infamous Iron Man
they have like a ton of similarities, right? And so there's natural conflict between the two, like suits of armor, super smart, super wealthy. Like, Dr. Doom is basically like Iron Man gone bad sort of thing. I don't know what to think about this, guys. Like,
I don't know if I love it or I hate it. I can't decide.
Yeah. I can't decide yet either. And I probably, as of this moment, and that could change, lean towards the hating it because I'm like why did it have to be Robert Downey Jr.? Now, fantastic actor.
He's awesome.
But I'm like, but he's Iron Man in the same thing. So I'm like, how are you going to work that? And I know, and really, and I guess maybe this is where what we'll decide, and we won't know for some time. I'm like, okay, if he uses a totally different voice, Dr. Doom's supposed to have a horribly scarred visage. Like, one of the reasons he wears a mask is his face is all mangled and scarred up. So I'm like, okay, well, if you're not showing him prior to, are you going to make him look different, or is it just an actual Tony Stark from a different unit? Like, how are you going to play this? I just don't know. I don't know. And I don't know if I like it.
That's what I'm wondering. Gage, do you think it's a variant of Tony Stark that became Dr. Doom instead of Iron Man, or what?
It might be. It could be that. But guys, listen, he's just the dude playing another dude. He's done it before. He
has done it before, yeah.
And I don't like. I'm looking at the poster I have in my office. It's actually Iron Man number 150, where he's Iron Man's trapped in the time lost land of King Arthur and battles Doctor Doom. Like, it was so there's something that could play into it. I'm thinking, and it's so funny because I have the poster right above my head. But I mean, Cable was Josh Brolin, right? And he was Thanos too. There'll probably be a little bit more CGI effects on Robert.
That's what
Downey.
I mean. Like, the difference between the two with like Brolin and Thanos is like, I mean, you knew it was Brolin. It sounded like Brolin, but it's not like he looked exactly like Brolin, so you could kind of get away with that. And
I kind of remember the whole Secret Wars comic book series, and it's basically the Avengers against Doctor Doom, right? And Doctor Doom takes off his mask, and he's supposed to be really horribly scarred, but he's actually really handsome. Somehow he's changed his look, but it's all a facade or whatever. But yeah, I love it. I think it's great. Everyone's wanted him back, so everyone got their wish. Everyone wanted Iron Man back. He's just in a, what did he say? Different mask, same task, whatever.
There has to be some sort of Tony Stark Iron Man twist for him for them to do this. Like, there has to be.
I don't know if I want that. That's the thing. It's like, I don't know if I want that. Like, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I'm more hesitant than you are, Gager. I don't know. It's exciting. I'm excited for Doctor Doom because it was terrible what they did to Doctor Doom in those two Fantastic Four movies.
So in the which two Fantastic Four ones? Like, because I watched them back because Mark and Corey were talking about Fantastic Four, so I went and watched all the. I can't even remember those movies. I watched them like 5 months ago. He was in two of those.
There's two. The first one, the Human Torch, excuse me, was
Captain America.
So.
Okay, I remember that one. Okay, so that's the one that Dr. Doom was. Okay.
Yeah, and then the next one was it Teller? Miles Teller was Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And then of course the multiverse of madness.
John Krasinski.
John Krasinski.
Yeah, he was that. Yeah.
So it's. And now he's not even going to be Mr. Fantastic. It's Pedro Pascal's Mr. Fantastic, right? So, but if anything, this multiverse has taught us is anyone can be anyone. So,
well, pretty much, and that's kind of what we see here. I could not wait to talk with you guys about this because I can't wait. I can't wait for. I have to go see Deadpool and Wolverine. This is how bad it is. So my plan to see these movies is as follows. I leave tomorrow for CFL. Come back from CFL on Sunday. The Hlinka Gretzky starts on Monday. I'm doing 3 games a day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Gager, I think you're in for me on the morning show, and you're in with me on Tuesday. I'm also doing the morning show Tuesday, so I don't know how my voice is going to hold on. I probably bit off more than I could chew this time. But so, and then my family's going. My wife and kids are going to visit my parents on like Wednesday to Sunday. Thursday is an off day at the Hlinka. My family will not be here. I'm not going to talk. I think I'm going to go do Twisters and Deadpool and Wolverine back to back. I think it's just going to be Dusty at the movie day because after that, it's like 3 more games on Friday, 2 games on Saturday or something. So that's my plan. The Thursday, the 8th or whatever it is, full-blown movie day. I can't wait. I'm
Perfect.
very excited. But I don't know how I'm going to avoid spoilers for Deadpool and Wolverine for another like 10 days.
Oh,
So,
I just keep if I'm on my phone and I see anything, I flip it away.
You got to go see it. That's the plan anyway. So, all right, we will get to Hire It or Fire It. This is the most. I don't even know if we've ever had this summer of a show, but I've got 1990s Selky trivia locked and loaded for you guys.
1990s? Oh, I'm losing this for sure.
1990s. Now, with that being said, I mean, they're all very popular dudes. So don't cheat. Don't look it up. We'll get to it at some point. But we're going 1990s Selky trivia at some point today. So there's been a lot of talk around town. I know Stoff's been talking about it on his show over on 630 Ched about the Leon Drasaitl contract, and he wants the 8-year deal. And like the more I think about this whole Draisaitl thing, boys, like this is a pretty easy deal to get done, isn't it? You go to Draisaitl and say 8 years, you become the highest paid player in the league. Who says no? Like Cass says, I don't want to. Am I simplifying it too much? Because it sure seems easy to say you're going to be the highest paid player in the league until Connor comes up, and we'll give you the max term. You're going to have most money that anybody's ever got.
Yep. Yeah, I think it is. It's just how much the most. Like by how much is he going to be the most? So how much over top, are you going to get? That's the question. And the bigger question before that was, well, does he want to stay in Edmonton? Is he going to sign an 8-year deal? And it seems like, yes, he does, which was the most likely outcome. So it's still a matter of, well, exactly how much, what number comes after the 13 is probably the big part of it. So, is it in the high 13s or mid 13s? That's the big question. So it's not, I'm not shocked. I think they'll get something done. It will be 8 years. It's not going to be 7. It will be 8 years.
Yeah.
It's just, a matter of a couple $100,000 per year, which makes a difference for the Edmonton Oilers. It really does. So you're probably saying, well, how much do you want? And he's going to say something in the high 13s or 14, and you come back with something mid, and you end up kind of being in the high 13s. That's what I think is going to happen.
Gage, I wouldn't blame Leon for saying, I want the 14 number. Nobody's had the 14 number. I want the 14 number. RCN texted in during our show this morning and basically laid it out that the percentage of the cap when Austin Matthews signed, the equivalent of that with the percentage of the cap now would be just shy of $14 million. So if you go and say, I want the same percentage of the cap that Austin Matthews got, it's going to come in at like 13.95. So I wouldn't be surprised. Do you think his camp was asking for like 14.5? Do you think even more? I mean, you got to shoot high in these types of negotiations, don't you?
I think you have to see, right? Test the waters. Again, that I just the only thing I think about it's the number's the number, Dusty, to me. Does he want to be the highest paid guy? Yeah, there's probably something a little to that. I'm just I'm surprised about the length, like what we're hearing. Like he does want the 8-year max. That's encouraging if that's correct, because it means he wants to stay in Edmonton, wants to win a Stanley Cup here. I think there's looking at Florida winning the Stanley Cup in Florida is completely different than winning the cup in Edmonton, right? Or a different market. It's different. It's not only it's immortality, getting your name on the cup. You're a legend for the rest of your life in this city and basically Canada, bringing a cup back to Canada in some respects. So, I'd be shocked if it's 14 and over. I think he would, that 13.5. I don't know why that number sticks out in my head most of all for Leon. And then, maybe gives a little bit of breathing, not that, a little bit of breathing room for the Oilers moving down the line, because there are some guys that they're going to have to look at to sign soon, and it's getting pricey.
If you want to chime in on this, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, and that's the text line. That'll get you in, 780-218-9999. Of course, over on the Nasty Chat as well. It is Two Guys and Goalie presented by GS Construction. Justin Ablagoni says, give the man 13.5 by 8 and let's just move on with our day. Penner's Pancake says, I think he prefers winning over a few $100,000. And 10 Hitchcock says he doesn't care about being the highest paid player in the league. McDoust says the 8th year is huge. If another team offers 7 years by 15 mil, that's 105 mil. The same amount over 8 years is $13.125 million. I had the number on the morning show today. I think I recycled my papers already, but it's like 107 million would bring him in as the highest paid player in the National Hockey League. So something to keep tabs on. Now, just continuing along this front, like Brock Faber got $8.5 million on that 8-year deal, coming off just an excellent rookie season. Very well would have been a justified Calder winner. I don't think Brock Faber coming off a rookie deal and signing a long-term deal is really truly a comparable to Evan Bouchard. We were running the numbers this morning on Bouchard, and if there seems to be a thought process that like McDavid's gonna be like 14.5, Draisaitl's gonna be like 13.5, Bouchard's gonna be somewhere between 10 and 10.5 mil. Cass, if Bouchard comes in at 10.5 million on an AAV, that puts him in the top 20, even factoring in like Rantanen, who's gonna get a deal, Draisaitl's gonna get it. He'll be around probably somewhere between like the top 15 and top 22 contracts in the entire National Hockey League. Does that make sense to you? Like, should Bouchard be one of the top 20 paid players in the entire league?
Should he be? No. Will he be? Probably.
Yeah.
And from the Oilers, the argument's probably going to be that you don't get this many points with Connor and Leon. So if you're going to go somewhere else and they're going to pay that, you're not going to get that money. That's going to be the argument. You're not going to get that money anywhere else because you're probably not going to produce anywhere else at the rate that you will produce here. Because he's not a player like a Cale Makar who can, in a lot of ways, do it himself. Cale Makar obviously has players around him that make him better and that help. He plays on a great team. But if you don't have McDavid and Leon Drasaitl on that power play, is Evan Bouchard nearly as effective? The answer is no. The answer is no. Now, from a purely point production and a comparable standpoint, it's going to put him at that mark. I don't think he should be, again, because anywhere else in the league, he's an $8 million player. Really, from a production standpoint, if that, he's an $8 million guy. But in Edmonton, with the amount of points he's going to put up here, he's going to be over 10. So he's probably going to be right in that $10 million range. So should he be in the top 20 paid players in the league? Probably not. Is he going to be? Probably.
I love Penner's Pancakes in the nasty chat over on YouTube says, if Bouchard comes in at 10.5 mil, every single post game will analyze each shift through a microscope. And it happens with Darnell Nurse. He's not even at 10.5. So, man, does any team in the league, and this is just off the top of my head, is any team in the league paying 2 defensemen $9.5 million or more? I'm trying to think. I don't think anywhere. What about Trouba and Fox? What are their numbers? I'm trying to think like who.
Taze and Makar. Makar's 9.
Yeah, but Taze would be
7.2.
Yeah,
that's.
Let me see here. I'm still getting used to Puckpedia here.
I know, me too.
Yeah. Adam Fox is 9.5 and Trouba is 8. Not a bad guess, Dusty. 9.5 and 8. That's got to be the biggest.
It's close. It's probably the closest.
That's got to be the closest. Yeah. 9.5 and 8. I know. So that's 17.5 mil between those two guys. They'd always be looking at almost 20. They'd be looking at 20 if Bouchard comes in at 10.5, Gage. Or what do you think? I mean, that's a lot of money to be packing into 2D men on the back end.
Yeah, that's. If I'm Evan Bouchard, is it worth it? Do I want to be paid that high and get that much scrutiny in this town? Like I said,
yes. Do you want to get paid that high? Yeah.
Jesus,
don't pay me $10 million.
Is it really worth it though, Cass? Not being able to fill up your car.
You know what? If you came in just slightly below Nurse, you'd be a hero.
Oh yeah,
you'd be a hero. It'd be the ultimate long-term play, wouldn't it?
Well, but then you're making way less money. That's over 7 or 8 years. That's yeah.
So
he makes a lot of dough.
He makes more than Fox and Makar. That's what you're saying? Like he's gonna have a bigger deal?
I mean, Nurse has a bigger deal.
What is Nurse? 9.2?
Let's bring it up. Let me bring it up. What did we top? What'd you say McCarr was?
McCarr was 9.
Okay.
Fox
Oh yeah, so
is
that might be
9.5.
Nurse is 9.25. So right
Yeah.
there. I mean,
Right in the middle.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's why Bowman came in. He's going to straight across Nurse for Jones.
The money's even. The money's even. So that's
Money's even.
that's a positive as well, I guess. 780-218-9999. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, so this is an interesting text from a 403 number. They didn't put a name on it yet. If McDavid and Draisaitl want to win a cup or multiple cups, they need to take team-friendly deals like the guys in Tampa did. Cass is different in Tampa, though, right? Like, it's completely different down there with the tax system. Like, they're
completely different.
Like, that's a
Tax
totally
system,
unfair
you can take
comparison.
a friendly deal.
Yeah.
It's an unfair comparison because you can take a friendly deal and make more money than you would in Canada. So
does the NHL need to do something to even that out? Like, that is a pretty significant advantage. Like, there has to be some sort of math equation where it's like, this is the standard salary cap.
It's easy.
Yeah, like,
it's easy. You just equate it to tax jurisdiction, right? Just do a tax weighted cap situation. It's not overly complex. Now, would the owners bite on that? I don't know, because the ones in Florida are not going to want to give up their advantage. You know, what is it like? Texas is not going to want to give up the advantage. So yeah, it would be simple to actually execute, but I think difficult to get everybody on board.
Wouldn't it be isn't there still the entertainment tax in certain states in the US too, Cass?
They've axed most of that. I know there was a challenge. Nashville was the big one. I think Pittsburgh happened recently as well, where Nashville is like, if you were a league minimum guy, you lost money playing a game in Nashville.
Yeah.
Really?
With their yep. Oh yeah. Yep. League men lost money playing in Nashville. You would have to pay to play in Nashville. But they challenged it. The NHLPA and the NHL challenged it and ended up winning because basically they would treat each individual player as an entertainer. Because there's like an entertainer tax that you pay, and so every single player was getting taxed when they're like, no, it should be the whole team. The team comes as a package. That was the argument that was made, and they won on that to say you can tax the whole team. It was like $2,000 or like $2,500 or something like that. Like you can charge the whole team that, but to charge each individual contract underneath there, that was a challenge because they used to. So yeah, it was like, guys, yeah, you get sick in Nashville if you're on league minimum. Yeah.
Yeah, because even they were charging, like I remember California's tax, it depended on how much you made too, like how much you made per day, and they taxed you accordingly, and it was brutal. I know I was more of an entertainer than a hockey player, and I should be taxed, but it was just ridiculous.
780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Guys, what I meant though is that more McDavid and Draisaitl take, less the other good players you can bring. Yeah, I totally understand that one, but it's. I mean, who's supposed to build this team properly? McDavid and Draisaitl taking less than they're worth, or the managers properly managing the rest of the cap, right, Cass? Like I always look at it and go,
it's the cap being managed.
Yeah, like it's
like you can't. We have this expectation in Canada, in Edmonton, and in Canadian markets in particular, that it's like, oh, we just expect them to take a hometown discount because they've been here, and because we want to win a cup, and they want to win a cup, and all players do want to win a cup. And to a certain extent, yeah, some guys will do that a little bit, but I think there's an unfair expectation that we put on players that it's like, yeah, you're going to take less money than your market value. And you just look at Darnell Nurse as an example of that. It's like, well, that was the market value, and we rip on it because you probably shouldn't have got that, but that was market value at the time, and that's what you're stuck paying. And we have I don't want to say unhealthy expectation, but an unfair expectation that we're like, yeah, they're going to take a discount. Yeah, they want to win. Yeah, they do want to win, but that doesn't mean they have to take a discount. They are a business. Each individual player is their own business, their body, their ability to play hockey. That is their business. That is their livelihood. So it's not fair, in my opinion, that we put this expectation on them, or that we're upset if they don't take a hometown discount.
And didn't they?
We put too much weight in that.
They already did in a sense. Like Connor, wasn't he? He took like $500,000 off his last deal, wasn't it? And
He didn't take like the max of what he could have
The
taken.
max,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And Draisaitl's
And,
been on a pretty sweetheart deal. But remember when they signed it, you're like, ooh, I hope he becomes the player to be at 8.5, and he did. I mean, he blew by that expectation, right? So there's that as well. So 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. If you would like to chime in, you can text us. Hit us up over on YouTube today. Two Guys, the Goalie, brought to you by GS Construction. If you've not yet subbed to the channel, we are closing in on 9,600 subs, trying to hit that 10,000 mark before the 1-year anniversary of EST. So give us a sub a little bit later on as well. Penner's Pancakes there says, I'm pretty sure 29 and 97 understand that. Is there really a different lifestyle between 13 mil and 15 mil? Man, probably not, but that $2 million could be the solution to sign a key player to put them over the top. So,
but lifestyle, no. Longevity, again, people.
$2 million is $2 million, right? Like,
it's not nothing, and that's generational impact for you and your family, right? Like there's legacy, I know it's easy to look at that and to say, oh, there's not a big lifestyle change. And it's true in that, no, there's not, but there's a big savings change, right? Like if we just assume a 50% tax rate, that's $1 million a year, that's $7 to $8 million. Well, post-career, from an income standpoint with that the investments can generate from a long-term, if you have kids and grandkids at some point, it is significant. Especially if you project out that these guys are young, right? So let's say you finish when you're 38 or 40 and you had $8 million more in your pocket that was earning along the way. So it's more than that. And you project that down another 30 years or another 40 years or another 50 years because you live till you're 90. That is significant. That is significant. So it's not, when you look at that number and we say, okay, even at post-tax, that's $8 million total over an 8-year deal. Well, if we take that $8 million and we project it forward, that's not $8 million, right? That's $30 million. That's 30 or more over a long period of time. So it's not, it's like what I tell people when they're buying vehicles is it's not a $100,000 decision. It's a $500,000 decision because if you take that same cash now and put it forward, it's significant. So I know it's easy to look at the lifestyle, but I just think that's, from an athlete standpoint, that's not how they're going to look at it, nor is it how they look at it. And same thing when we look at it and when fans look at it, like, oh, what's the difference between 8 million, 10 million? You still have a great lifestyle. Yes, but we're talking about lifestyle in 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, and that number is significant.
8 million
This is why I love doing the show with two finance guys. This is great. I have no idea what's going on here. This is perfect.
8 million with just FP Canada's rate of return. I just use 3.2%, right? So
which is low.
It's just low. It's just low. But say more like 5, just a real rate of return. 30 years, 8 million. After that 30-year period, you have $20,581,683.
And that's if you wait till the end to put the money in, right? Like if you're putting it along the way.
Oh, this is this is like from now, now on. Right?
Like it's
more.
Significant.
I like this one from RCN on the text line. Guys, can you put it into terms we can understand? Would you rather have $13,000 or $15,000? It's like, yeah, that makes more sense. I'd rather take the $15,000. I think that would be much better.
But it's impactful. I mean, you have to think about it this way. At times people will move to a job where it's like, okay, well, they really like the people they work with. But when you look at, okay, like a significant number and say, okay, you know what, I like the people that I work with, but I could go to another company, also like the people that I work with, and earn way more. Like most people aren't going to I'm going to take a discount and earn less than I'm worth at my job just because I like the people and this is where I'm from. Where if I move to another city and I can earn significantly more, if you put yourself in that shoes, it just doesn't make sense. But we, for whatever reason with athletes, have created this mindset where it's like, yeah, we expect them to, again, in Canada, take that discount.
Well, this one over on YouTube from Dwight K. Schrute, which I don't think I've ever seen him comment before. I like it. I love this comment from him. He goes, I know I'm not going to go to my boss and say, I'll take 25% less so he can just pay someone else more. You know, like that doesn't happen. Right? You're right, Cass. It doesn't happen in modern day. Like a Wannick's not coming to me and being like, hey man, give me less and give Zach to come a little bit more. Like that doesn't happen. That's not how it works. Like, yeah. Good discussion though. Good discussion. 10 Hitchcock wants us to comment about Stan Bowman and how he's going to help the drafting. Ted, I didn't get to you because I don't think he is. His drafting record in Chicago wasn't that good, so we'll just move on that question. That's why I've kind of ignored it. All right, so one more one from the hockey world. Marty Necas. Marty Necas got a deal done. 2 years, $6.5 million per. Had like 71 points 2 years ago. You know, there's been that talk about possibly moving him. Katz, I like this deal because that's a number you can certainly trade too. Somebody would be willing to bring in Marty Necas at not even $7 million.
Yeah, no, it's a healthy number. It's a healthy number. I think a fair number. That's the first thing I thought. I'm like, that's one of those deals where you look at both sides. And you're like, yeah, I think it works for both sides. Where you do have the ability to move them. It's not an impossible contract to move, but you could still get some value out of it as well. So yeah, it's I think a good deal for both sides.
Real Scott Weller over on YouTube says, I have lived that before, and I have taken less to stay where I knew it was going to be a good fit. Grass is rarely greener, even with more green. What an interesting discussion just on philosophy around money today here on Two Guys and a Goal. Hey, if you're looking to make money, more than you make now, maybe. Who knows? I don't know what you make now, but GS Construction is hiring. So go join their team right now. We're going to get into hire it or fire it right away, and then we'll get to what everybody's here for today, 1990s Selky trivia. So we'll get to that. GS Construction is hiring now. Become a part of their great team today by visiting gsconstruction.ca or their page on indeed.ca. For the past 50 years, the foundation of GS Construction has been built on efficiency, quality, and safety. Take your career to the next level. Join the team at GS Construction today. Once again, it was YouTube Trev who put together our questions for Hire It or Fire It today. We got a couple Oilers questions, Leafs question, OV question, and a Robert Downey Jr. question. I love that. So Matt Savoy will play 25 games with the big squad this year. Hire it or fire it?
Fire it. Not a chance.
I like the number, though, because of injuries, you know?
Yeah, I think because of injuries, I got to hire it. He's a skill guy, high skill guy, can play in your top six. So I gotta hire it.
Stuart Skinner will be a finalist for the Vezina this year. Hire it or fire it?
I'm gonna hire it. He's gonna be in the discussion for sure.
Should put up the amount of dubs to get in there, you would think, right? Like,
I'm gonna hire it. Yeah, I think he is. They're going to be, barring catastrophic failure at the start of the season like we saw last season, they're going to be one of the best teams in the league. And, yeah, he's going to be in that discussion for sure.
It's interesting. What type of save percentage you got to put up to get in the mix for the Vezina nowadays? I know it's not what it once was, but
well, it's going to be wins track heavily into that.
Yeah.
Heavily into that,
too. Like Hellebuck, 37 wins and a 921. Bobrovsky, 36 wins and a 915. Stuart Skinner had 36 wins last year, which was tied for the third highest total in the entire league. He was 36 and a 905. Georgiev was 38 wins and an 897 last year in that for the Colorado Avalanche. So, and Shesterkin was 36 wins and a 913. So, I mean, Hellebuck had 37 wins, Bobrovsky had 36, Shesterkin had 36, Stuart Skinner had 36. The other guys that save percentage is 921, 915, 913. Skinner had a save percentage of 905. You bump up that to about 910, get yourself in the mix for a possible Vezina nomination, I think. That's not asking too much, I don't think. I don't think that's an unfair ask. You can play along at 780-218-9999 or just up in the nasty chat as well. Austin Matthews will win the Rocket Richard Trophy again this season. Hire it or fire it?
I gotta hire it. I mean, he's a goal scoring machine. He's gonna put up a lot of points. Gonna put up a lot of goals. He's a fantastic goal scorer. So yeah, he probably does. So I gotta hire it.
Yeah. What he almost had? What do you have? 69 last year.
Phenomenal year phenomenal year. Like,
Yeah, he's the best. He's the best pure goal scorer in the league. He's gonna win that again, I'm sure. Unless Ovi says no.
can you imagine?
I think it's in unless Leon says no. Not unless Ovi says no. But that would be amazing.
I mean,
if Ovi says no.
Ovi at this
would love
stage
it.
of his career dropping a 55-goal season on us would be ridiculous.
Oh,
Absolutely
that would be
ridiculous.
unreal.
It's funny because this question comes up next. Alexander Ovechkin needs 41 goals this season to pass Wayne Gretzky. So Alexander Ovechkin will pass Gretzky this season and become the all-time leading scorer in goals. Hire it or fire it?
Hire it. He rough start, didn't go in for him.
Played well in the second half of the year. Remember, he got hot
In
there.
the second half, he got smoking hot again, and that's all he needs is just some consistency because he scores in bunches too. Like, and I was at the game here, like, and I think he was struggling. He hit like 3 posts, and Skinner made like 3 good, or maybe it was the year before. I don't know. He made like 4 really good saves on him. Like, it was ridiculous. Yeah, he's still capable of putting the puck in the net. I think he gets it. Come January, I predict it's going to be the Ovi watch every game because he's just inching closer and closer and closer.
I gotta fire it, boys.
Whoa.
I want that, but I gotta fire it. I think he gets 30 to 35. Doesn't quite.
So then he gets it early next year. It would be so much better down the stretch next year when there's there's 6 games left. He needs 2 more. Will he get it? Like that'd be great.
That would be absolutely fantastic, especially if it's like garbage time and playoffs have largely been set and there's not really depending on how the season goes, you're not going to see many swings or changes in who's in and who's out of the playoffs. Like to have that to watch at the end of the year would be absolutely spectacular. So I would love it if I'm wrong, but I just think he puts 30 to 35, which is still unbelievable. But yeah, I don't see it. So I'm firing it.
I think you guys are.
Is Backstrom done? Like,
well, I was going to say, I think you guys are missing the biggest thing here in that they brought in Pierre-Luc Dubois to play with them. So if anybody's going to push Ovi over that 41, it's got to be PLD.
Feed him the rock.
PLD. Yeah. All right, final one for Hire It or Fire today. Once again, shout out YouTube Trev for putting these together for me. Robert Downey Jr. will be better as Dr. Doom than he was as Iron Man.
Oh.
Fire it.
Don't you think he could be a good bad guy though? I think he'd be a great bad guy.
He can be a great bad guy, but in that universe, he's Iron Man. So just no.
He also did save the world as Iron Man. Like it's tough to top saving the world.
Well, and just wrapping up the character and the character arc with the Iron Man. You can't top it. So. Sorry.
Gager's thinking about a yes here.
I mean, if he was able to, is he capable of being an even better character, knowing the complexity of Dr. Doom? I got faith. I got faith in him. I'm gonna hire it.
My man.
This is gonna be Dr. Doom is one of the greatest Marvel characters of all time. If I go back and if you were to ask me who do you like better, but before the first Iron Man movie, which character do you like more? I would say Dr. Doom. So
if somebody asked you before the first Iron Man movie, when we were just in that Edward Norton Hulk phase, before the Iron Man movie dropped, somebody said you got to build the Marvel universe around Iron Man or Dr. Doom, you would have said Dr. Doom.
I would have said Dr. Doom.
I got to dive into Dr. Doom more. I'm not overly familiar with the character, so yeah, we'll get into it.
Oh, Dusty, I just like to say the interview with Reed today, absolutely hilarious.
Thanks, Gager.
And it was I was chuckling a lot this morning watching that. And I don't know that when he came into the show and for the initial announcement and just with you two guys. The viewership, like the Reed bump is real. Like it went like so many people were watching that, and it was just phenomenal job, you guys. It's great to see. Reed's an awesome dude too, and I'm glad people are gonna finally be able to get see a side of Reed that no one's really even.
We're gonna unleash a different Reed here. I think
Yeah.
from what I've learned in the early going, I'm like of everybody around. This sounds crazy to say, but of everybody around here, like the one guy that I've already started to get familiar with that might say something on the mic where I'm like, we're gonna be in trouble. You would never believe that's Reed Wilkins, but like Reed has this dry sense of humor that is just hilarious. So yeah, we dropped the interview today. If you haven't seen that, it's I posted on my Twitter account. It's on our Facebook page as well. We had it on the show this morning, and our next plan here for some point in August to release the follow-up, which is called The Arrival, as he arrives at the office for the first time. So that should end up being a pretty good follow-up, as well as Edmonton Sports Talk starts to put together a little storyline here around Reed Wilkins, which should be a lot of fun. And if you're not yet aware, maybe you only listen to Two Guys on Goalie Pod and you haven't checked out all of EST just yet, starting in early September, right after Labor Day, the Reed Wilkins Show every single day from 3 until 6 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. He will have the glue guy, Jay Milne, riding shotgun with him as well. Calvin C. over in the Nasty Chat says, Edward Norton Hulk, my favorite design of Hulk compared to the other movies. I rewatched that Edward Norton Hulk because I love Edward Norton. I didn't mind that movie, man. I kind of like that movie.
No, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
What's the English guy's name in that too? The Tim Roth.
Oh, Tim
He
Roth's
was great
good.
as the Abomination.
Yeah. Tim Roth was in
She-Hulk too. Like he had a little thing in there.
He did, but Tim Roth was in. What's the other movie he was in? With all the, it's a Tarantino movie.
Oh,
Reservoir Dogs. Wasn't he one of the guys in Reservoir? Yeah, he was in Reservoir Dogs. He was the undercover cop. Yeah. I haven't watched Reservoir Dogs in a long time, man. That's I have to go back and circle around to that on a plane here at some point. All right, put your hands up if you're ready for 1990 Selky trivia. No hands? No hands. All right. Well, Zacticum's ready. Zacticum, can you even spell Selky? Good work, Zacticum. Well done. I guess he is a hockey guy. It's a baseball trophy. It might have been a little bit different. All right, so I'm going to, it's like, this is who I am, and you have to guess who it is. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. 5 for 90 Selky trivia. All right, here we go. This one does have a...
Doug Gilmore.
Let me read this. Let me read this first. This one does have a hint inside of the answer here. So I was the only player to win back-to-back Selkies in the 90s, and I wasn't finished there, winning one more in the 2000s.
Oh my God. No, wait.
No, that's later.
I don't want to say the team. I know the team.
Michael Pekka? Was it Michael Pekka?
No, it's
Once again, there was a clue
Joaquin.
in these categories.
Yeah, you gave it away.
I did.
He played for
5.
Yeah.
Jokinen? No. 5. 4.
Dallas Stars.
Yes. 3. 2.
I know who it is.
1. Cass, go ahead.
Was it Lettinen?
Gary Lettinen.
Yes.
No points.
That's it.
No points for anybody.
No points.
No points.
I thought it was Pekka.
No points. I said finished in there. I finished, right? It wasn't finished.
Gary Lettinen.
There's no other clues in any of these. That one was easy. Yeah. All right. Okay, here we go. I won the Selky in 1997 and would go to the Cup final with the Oilers 9 years later.
Pekka.
There you go,
that one. That one.
Sitting on this.
With the Oilers. The Oilers to the final. That was the only thing. Because I knew Pekka won it in the 90s. Did he? No, he won in the I
don't know. Did he also win one in the 2000s? He won one in 97. Yeah, he did. He won one in 2002.
I think he had.
Yeah, won one in 2002. And that one was with the Islanders. So first one was with the Buffalo Sabres. All right, here we go. Everybody's loving 90s Selky trivia. Here we go. Not only did I win 2 Selky trophies, but I also won the Hart Trophy and the Pearson in one of the same seasons.
Pearson.
He won 2 Selkies and then won the Hart Trophy in the same year that he won the Selky.
Sergei Fedorov.
Sergei Fedorov, correct. Fedorov, that year he won the Pearson, the Hart, and the Selky. I wonder if he's the only guy ever to win Selky and Hart in the same season. I have to look that up. I don't know. Might have happened. So let me just. I got the. Let me see. Taves, Bergeron, Kessler, Kopitar, Barkov. Yeah, he might be the only guy that ever won the Hart Trophy, and at least going back. I might have to go back a little bit. No, I bet you he's the only guy who's won both the Hart. In fact, he might be the only guy who's won the Hart Trophy. Now that I look at it, yeah, I think he's the only guy that's ever won the Hart Trophy and also won a Selky. Which is pretty. I mean, Sergei Fedorov, man. Like,
in the same year, right?
I think ever. Like, because I'm looking at. Oh, actually, Bobby Clark.
Did Yzerman win it?
Yzerman never won a Hart, did he?
Oh, I don't know if he won.
He won a Selky. Bobby Clark must have won a Hart.
I thought he won a Hart.
Bobby Clark. Oh yeah, Bobby Clark won a Hart and a Selky. So Bobby Clark is one, but I don't think anybody else.
I thought Yzerman won a Hart.
Let me see here. I don't think Yzerman won a Hart. He's playing in the years of like Mario and Wayne and then Yager.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I don't think he won a Hart. Somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he didn't. All right, this is going well. We're tied at 1. Perfect. All right, here we go. 2 questions left. I won the Selky Trophy in 1993, but finished second in Hart Trophy voting to Mario Lemieux. I'd go on to be eliminated by the other greatest player of all time in the conference finals of the playoffs that year. Which Selky winner am I?
It's not Pat LaFontaine, is it?
It's not Pat LaFontaine. However, I will say this, Gager. Pat LaFontaine was the 3rd nominee on the Hart Trophy that year that this guy won the Selky. I learned that earlier this morning. It was LaFontaine, it was Lemieux, and it was this guy. This guy ended up winning the Selky.
92?
Pat Verbeek. No, that's why I said not. It's like, no, it's not
5,
him. I don't know.
4, 3, 2, 1. I was going to give a lame clue. His name has already been said during this segment today. Dougie Gilmour.
Oh,
yeah, Dougie Gilmour. Ended up losing to Wayne in the conference final. Lost the Hart Trophy to Mario, right? So
I couldn't picture who that was. Shoot.
All right, final one, and this will be for the win. We are tied at 1. I am the only player in the top 5 in NHL all-time scoring to also win a Selky Trophy. I did it in 1995.
I'm the only player.
He's top 5 all-time in scoring.
Top 5.
Also won a Selky one year.
Ron Francis?
Yes! Whoa! I mean, by process of elimination, it's not Mario, it's not Wayne, it's not Gordie Howe. So.
It's not Wayne.
And it's not Yager. So, Ronnie Francis, congratulations, Gager. It is official. You know the most about 1990 Selky Trophy winners on 2 guys and a goalie. Very impressive.
It's because as a goalie, I needed someone like this to make my career half decent, and it never happened. I was just praying for, give me a Selky winner, please.
That's a couple of pretty interesting, pretty impressive notes about Fedorov being one of 2 guys to win a Hart Trophy and a Selky ever, and he did it in the same season. So that's ridiculous.
Scotty, the thing that's most frightening about how good Sergei Fedorov was, like 1 year he played defense. Right?
Yeah.
Because of injuries. And Scotty Bowman said, if I played him there for the entire year, he would probably win the Norris. Like
stupid.
And that's Scotty Bowman saying that, right? So and he's had some pretty good defensemen. So could you imagine?
Man, that's insane.
If you actually
guy,
he played D. Like that, what forward in today's game can actually skate backwards, first of all. But
actually, that's a fun game. Like, which forward in this league right now do you think you could move back to defense for a season?
Brent Burns.
Well, I know you're cheating.
He's
well, I'm just looking at recent Selky winners. Barkov, You're not putting Barkov back on D. Like, is
No.
this Bergeron, Couturier, Ryan O'Reilly, Kopitar? I'm trying to think of what forward nowadays you could throw back on D and get away with it.
You could throw McDavid back there.
Well, he skates well enough to do whatever the hell he wants, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah. Joel over on the Nasty Chat says, Mitch Marner. That is hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. That is how we will. That's how we'll wrap up Two Guys and a Goalie for today. I'll have more fun trivia. I'll tell. I think Maddie will be in on Thursday, you guys. He'll have more fun trivia for you. Two Guys and a Goalie is presented by GS Construction, setting the industry standard for 50 years of quality, efficiency, and safety, driving their success. Their foundation's been built on teamwork, and they want you to become a part of a team. These guys are always hiring because they're always busy. Visit www.gsconstruction.ca, click on Ready to Work, or visit their page at Indeed.ca. And with the Next Up Person program at GS Construction, it's not just a job, it is a career. That is going to do it for our job today. Boys, a lot of fun, and I will be back, actually, next week I'm doing the Holinka all week. So, Gager, I'll see you on Tuesday morning because we'll be doing the show together, but then I'm at the rink. Cash, you must going to be checking out a bunch of that Holinka Gretzky, I would think.
Yeah, I'll be bouncing around. Yeah, I'll be bouncing around.
Can't wait to see this
there.
McKenna kid. It's supposed to be a real deal, eh? I can't wait. That's gonna be a lot of fun. We'll have a few reports on him next week, and I'll catch up with you guys. Gager, I'll see you on Tuesday, buddy. Two Guys, the Goalie, be back on Thursday with a Wannick in the chair here with Cass and Gager. Huge shout out to GS Construction, the Sandman over there, for hopping aboard as a presenting sponsor of Two Guys and a Goalie. If you are listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, we will have the replay of the Nielsen Show coming up next. If you're watching over on YouTube, we'll be back tomorrow morning with the Nielsen Show live. And once again, probably talking Draisaitl contract until it gets done. Boys, talk to you later.
See ya.